Well, the mayor's just finished his State of the City address, and some numbers came down that I understand are kind of a surprise to the fire department. And just kind of like to get your comments and where you're at on all of that.
Absolutely, like you said, it was somewhat of a surprise when we heard those numbers. We had heard obviously there were going to be some numbers, and I think the numbers that have been thrown out there were 600,000, and we actually had a meeting with the mayor to see what we could do, try to help out the city. We understand it's bad times, but we also have the duty to still protect this city. And when you talk about $900,000 cuts, and essentially closing at least another station and potentially taking us to possibly one station, those needs are not going to be met. The safety of the citizens of Elyria has been dramatically compromised with those numbers.
Right, and there is talk of the possibility of going to only one station. What would that mean for the city, and why would you go to only one?
Well, with the numbers that they're talking about, with if there's only 11 guys on duty, essentially, there's potential only 9 of those are actually going to be the guys going to fight these fires, and there's just not enough to man the trucks. It comes down to what numbers do you have to man the trucks that you need. When you talk about 9 guys, you're not talking about a whole lot of guys that can effectively fight fires. Well below the national standards. We're essentially going to have to change the way we think about fighting fires in this city.
And a 2-station situation, which is probably the more likely, I guess, what does that mean for responding, and what can you effectively do?
Well, essentially what you're doing now is you used to have a 4-station city. You've just cut all that in half, so you can imagine that essentially the response times could potentially double because of you'd only have 2 stations to cover the whole city. One half divided in half, and one station goes one way and the other goes the other way.
Are there any other concerns that really haven't come up? I mean, are there any other issues with cutting things like that would affect everyone?
Well, absolutely. We still do run EMS. We are, half our department are paramedics. The other, everybody on the department is EMTs. We carry automatic defibrillators. We respond on all life-threatening emergencies in the city. Essentially, when you start talking about those numbers, there's been talk that we would no longer be able to respond on that. That is not my call, but it's from what chief, he has the duty to do what he feels that we can protect the city both for fire and EMS. And unfortunately, with those numbers, there would be reduction in that service.